doing well on Father's Day. Eh, gloomy here in the Dakotas, that's for sure. So, anyways, we'll just jump right to business. We've got fun things to do today. Blackhawk down. So, Master Sergeant Paul Howe, Delta Force operator, served 20 years, 10 years in Delta Force, you know, son in law of the founder of Delta Force, for crying out loud. But Paul Howe, one interesting thing about him that I've always really enjoyed his sheer honesty. He talks about the different special operations units. He breaks it down, what the difference between Rangers, Green Berets, Delta, you know, everything along that line. Um, when he talks about the incident in Mogadishu, um, he talks about the failures. He talks about the learning experience from it. Um, so it's great interviews by him. Definitely check them out. I'll put a link down in the comment section below for people. But he's man, he's an interesting cat. Just on his feet, quick to think. You know, things went bad, and he made some really good points. One of the best points in the entire interviews and stuff like that. Everything I've read his book is he talks about how Blackhawk Down, that whole incident, Operation Gothic Serpent, went from being a surgical operation because they were doing capture kill on Aid's cabinet members and his warlord leadership group, whatever the hell they were, over by the Olympia Hotel in Mogadishu. I went from that and turned all out into combat, which you really think about it, the difference with the special operation guys. They go in, they have like their main objective, and they go in and they go out quick. Uh, with all the action and violence that took place, it turned into a combat situation where you know the bird, the Super 6-1 Black Hawk helicopter, getting winged and crashing down. Um, went to them fighting for an entire night nonstop. Um, but Paul Howe, I mean, he is. If you've seen the movie or read the book by Mark Bowden or whatever, it's most of it is based on his account. Um, some of the more interesting things about that whole incident that took place um, is he discusses how there were so many things going on at the same time. It's hard to timeline it. Um, like for instance, when Super 6-1 went down, the quick response team or quick response force QRF wasn't able to dispatch immediately and go. They were closer to where the helicopter was. He talks about how the Star 41, which is the little birds, little gunner helicopters flying around, and stuff like that, kicked a smoke grenade out over by where crash site 1 was at. That way, the guys on ground can definitely get there easier, better. There's not RPGs being shot up in the air all over the place, and they're able to fight their way to get to it. They got there, and Wolcott, who was the pilot of it, him and his co-pilot were dead. However, the crew of the ship, the helicopter, there's a couple survivors, and they were able to hold off, get them on some of the Superstar 41 little helicopter and whatnot, and get those guys out to safety. They locked it down. They fought all night just to protect that zone, and he goes over just constant preparation for everything. If you've got people on your platoon or your fire team or whatever that were dead, get their ammo, get the ammo ready, have somebody constantly being productive while you're holding down that command post area. And he's talking about how they had to do it across two different areas where he was at, which um, just how he talks about and goes into detail on things, goes into detail on just making sure you use the front sight because you don't know how long you're going to be out there for. Somebody getting water because everybody's dehydrated, get iodine pills, bust those up so people don't get sick from drinking it. I mean, it's fascinating because the guy's been there. And, a lot of people that watch this channel, they've served, they've been into some tight situations. I know a lot of guys that I've spoken to when you were out in Fallujah and stuff like that, it was just nasty, nasty as can be. But you know, Afghanistan's a completely different story, totally different than the urban warfare that Iraq and I'm guessing what these guys in Mogadishu did. So you know, that I don't know, it's great. I still have more videos on him coming out. There's just I was gonna try to just keep it short to a certain amount, but I mean, his story is just too good. I was like, you know what, we're gonna go longer on this one, do some more shorts on it. But you know, Operation Gothic Serpent, I think any of us that were alive or in our time in the 90s remember when it was all going on. It's kind of a significant role. I mean, up until I think 9/11, Blackhawk Down incident in 93 was probably one of the bigger whatever you want to call it, conflicts at the time. But you know, I'll keep having that stuff coming out. Got some pistol drills coming out. Oh, what else here? Let's see, Iran and Israel. That's I don't know, man. That's kind of scary with what's going on over in the Middle East. I mean, we've all known though it's more of a matter of when, not a matter of if. But I still you can call me a Zionist or whatever, but I still support Israel 100%. Um, I mean, really, if you think about it, it's no different than us when it comes to somebody attacking the United States. We have to strike back and retaliate. And Israel, you know, they've been hammered on by people from Iran in that region, funding terrorists and Hamas, Al Qaeda, all that crap. Well, I don't feel bad for them. I feel bad for the people in Iran. There's a lot of good people out there, but you know, unfortunately, when you've got people committing terrorist acts and crap like that, people like to shoot back. And you know what? I think they're long overdue for it. So you know, that's my opinion on that. That's not going to change anything. One thing I am a little bit I'm concerned with, but you know, and it should never have gotten to the point, is the fact that the 2-7 Marines out of 29 Palms, you know, are down in LA helping with these riots and crap. Now, the 2-7, everybody knows how I hold them so dear to my heart. It's sad seeing them having to be deployed on United States soil. I know a couple guys that are still, you know, in that battalion, and it's upsetting, but uh, they're very effective and they will get the job done. But you know, they best wishes to all those guys out there. You know, it just kind of sucks having to do that. But anyways, uh, that's my ramble for today, guys. Everybody watching this, happy Father's Day. Enjoy your Sunday. Hopefully your weather's better than mine. Mine's crapped out right now, but maybe it'll dry up. Be able to go out and get some fishing in or go shooting or something. But take care, guys.